Okay, we're back. And this is why everyone loves arches or arch paper, because it totally every bit of that masking fluid came off and left an absolutely flawless finish. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going in here and touching in little bits of color where I think it needs it. Just based on what I see on the reference photograph here. That needs to be part of this particular blend in here. And there's some down here, around the edge here. That's a reflection of this. We'll just go ahead and bring it down. That's going to have to be much greener. So we're going to have to make a nice green with our ultramarine blue and our yellow. Maybe a little lemon yellow. And get a brighter. May have to put some phthalo blue, and that'll probably get it. I'm trying to stay away from the initial wash of phthalo blue, because phthalo blue is so staining. It will get all over your clothing, and you can get it off, but not without great effort. So this is a nice green. It's a perfectly fine mixture of ultramarine and lemon yellow. And it actually, most of these are like a sphere, so they come down darker here. You can see from this one that that's the case. Just painting around these different colors so that we have a nice highlights here. And I'm going to leave that little highlight there. And we'll just merge that in up here, like that. And then they will come down here. We just got to pretty much recreate this, because we've lost that edge, which happens. And I'm just doing this with clear water to get that marble round again. He looks kind of fat actually, so I think we better make him a little bit rounder. And luckily it carries right into the greens that are in here. So that's fine. We'll just re-emphasize this shadow again. And we're going to put this dark in a second. But I'm not going to make this solid because it's not solid, but it is green coming in down in here. That's the shadow. And there should be a definite shadow around your, because marble's just a sphere. And I'm going to wet this whole thing, not like that. Let's get a bigger brush to do that. Just so we have a nice merging of the colors, so they'll bleed and blend together and mingle, because that's what we want in that shadow. All right, let's put our dark in. Just simply add some Payne's Gray there, right up underneath the marble itself, and just follow what you see here as an even darker part of the shadow. Okay, and this is darker over here, although it has more yellow in it, so I would just pick up some of that yellow that's already on my palette and change that ever so slightly right there. And bring that down like that. And then down here, you've got some reds. So I just drop those in. Let it all mingle together. Very washy mixture here. Nothing really strong. And just kind of dull, because that's what you're seeing. Okay. And a little bit darker right around in here, because we've got this highlighted place. We kind of want to keep that. Okay. And I think I'm satisfied with that. Now, okay. So that's basically our green marble. And it does have a little bit more blue there. So let's just drop some of that blue, because that's a reflection from the blue marble. And I want to keep that. Even add a little bit, maybe in a couple other places, just to make it interesting. And let's come back with some of that green, because that's basically was supposed to be part of the marble in here. And the looser you make this, the more believable it looks. So you don't want a definite, defined. This is just in painting glass in general. You just want to, most of the reflected shapes are not particularly hard. They're softer. And I'm trying to get my green back so I can go basically do this little stripe that I lost right here. And probably I should not be painting over this, let's see, and it comes up just like that and curves up into the ball itself. And then just blot that so it's not so harsh. And then I see a little bit of green up in here, reflecting, this marble reflects back onto this marble. And then we've got some green in this area as well. That's just kind of in here, and soften that. Anytime you don't want a hard line or a harsh line, just blot it back. Okay. Now I need to touch up this red right here. It's this is what happens with masking fluid. You pretty much have to go back in occasionally with it. Just make this a little bit redder. I like that look anyway. You can go back right over the dark, it's fine. And just soften all that. And let's get a little bit, we have a much brighter red going on in here. So let's just add some of that just to make the colors sing a little bit. It doesn't have to be the exact shape that you see. And then there's some interesting things that happen over here. Kind of like that. And then there's some areas down here. And again, we'll just soften it so it's not such a defined thing. And just add a little bit here and there. Maybe soften this a little bit. So around the edge, it's got quite a bit of a little softening around there. And even around the edge here, just to show that edge a little bit clearer. And that edge up there is not truly white, so I think we'll make that just a slight blue. Make that a reflection of this marble. And I think we'll put a little blue in there, maybe in here, just to show the reflections of that. You also are going to have reflections of the blue in here. And we'll put some of that in here. I'm actually going to make this whole area bluer in here. And we'll just soften that so we don't have a hard edge in there. So I'm just bouncing around from one area to another, creating these little areas of interest. I'm going to touch blue right along the edge there, just for that. Okay, and this, because this marble is so dark, I'm just going to go right over that entire thing again with another wash of ultramarine blue to define the edges on this, and to wash back some of these whites because there aren't as many whites in here as I'm showing. Actually, I'm going to go over that as well, but I'm going to leave that white spot. So we're just darkening it a bit so that it stands out more on its own. And these are just final touches, which will make it look more believable. And then I'm going to go back in with the very top of this marble, which comes like this, if you see, like the top of a sphere or a circle. And that's just darker in there. We'll kind of just loosely do that. And we'll soften this edge a little bit. Let's come around and make a definite edge on this one. Coming around that way. And we'll darken that up a little bit and soften that green a little bit around there. And make it a little bit darker over here. Okay. I'm liking that. All right. This shadow, I think we could dull this down quite a bit. So I may go in here with, actually what I need to do is to come, not with that, not that color. Let's get that red in again, where we lost this red of this marble here. It's actually an orange, so let's bring that on around like that. That's kind of a nice look. All right, I like that. We'll darken that a little bit more. There, like that. And this actually kind of blends up in there like that and goes right down into that shadow, so we'll do that. I think I may have gotten my marble off a little bit here. If you do, just correct it as to the best of your ability. All right, now we've got to go in here with something. I think it's probably going to be that just dull orange. Ever so lightly. Okay, and we've got to knock this back with maybe just a little gray, Payne's gray, maybe not that much, just to soften that edge a little. I like that better. And in here, let's come over that edge, just softening those harsh lines, because there are a lot of really, masking fluid leaves a lot of really hard lines. And this is what I would do, is just go and pick around until I was happy with everything that I saw. Just making sure that the shapes are correct.